Hey guys, Itzshaggy YouTube here, and I want to explain what this video is all about. We're going to be going into an AI match initially to worry about teaching you guys how to play this thing rather than worry about the game. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope this helps. Style of video for the Furies. Well, all carriers, but I'm gonna be in the Furies. And then somebody that mains carriers, I'm gonna go ahead and give him the mic and let him speak his piece. So this is my clan slash group leader, whatever you wanna call it, and he's a carrier main, and I'm gonna give him the reins and let him explain it a little bit better than I can. Alright, you ready to do this?
Absolutely. Hi everyone, it's Double Name here.
Alright, let's go.
I'm looking for my ship. Oh, there's the Warspite. Guys, just so you know, my Warspite B is named after Shaggy Skier. He chose a color, he chose a flag. We have a friendship flag, I hope you can see that. And yeah, we mutually agreed to call it Scooby, so Scooby is ready for action, Shagster.
Alright, let's go. Oh, crap. Forgot I'm the leader. Keep tapping it. But, basically the very first thing you need to do with a carry is obviously look at the opposition, see what's against you, stuff like that. And then you want to focus down the destroyers. You know, if you have a good team, they will shoot the destroyers. But if they don't, it might take you a couple drops to kill them because destroyers are very agile, but you want to keep them out of play as long as you possibly can. Obviously, if you go after a destroyer and it's covered by, say, an American battleship, you're obviously not going to get much. So try to focus on the cruisers and keep an eye on where that destroyer is at. Your main goal in every battle is to keep the destroyers out. That's with every single ship, but especially carrier, because your carrier can get across the map anywhere you go a lot quicker than a a ship can. You got like 45 knots, and the cruisers don't. Cruisers, destroyers, especially battleships, cannot get that speed. So once you find and spot them destroyers, then your team knows where they're at. If you don't spot the destroyers, that puts your team at a disadvantage. See how I got spotted. Okay, I can't see any of the ships. So that means something's closer by. That means one of their destroyers, one of their cruisers are over here. But I'm only spotting 3 ships. That means he's right there. Okay, so we're doing this in an AI match initially, just so I can teach you guys a little bit and not
Some
have
bases,
to
right?
worry about. So what?
Some bases.
Yeah, and not have to worry about,
Getting
playing my
caught in the blues.
yeah. So I can worry about talking rather than worry about playing the game at the moment. Okay, I didn't hit him initially, no big deal. Drop a fighter off. By the way, if you got fighters, you're gonna be caught in a. If you got many teammates, I mean, many people up there trying to shoot your planes down, you definitely want to drop off one of your fighters, because one of them are gonna get shot down anyways. So if you can get into the last portion of the battle with more planes, you obviously want to. You don't want to go in there with uh, a squadron of 6 initially. You want to save your torpedoes or planes or whatever you're using for as long as you possibly can. You don't want to be at the end of the game with 0 planes on your ship. That is a easy way to deplane yourself. Okay, now that our ships have moved up onto A, I'm gonna go for B. Why is that? Because everybody is over on A, but we don't have any backup on B besides one ship. So I'm gonna go over here, try to hit this destroyer. I flew right into the battleship. His AA is more potent than a cruiser or destroyer. So that was a mistake on my part. So I'm gonna go back around, try to hit him. Always focus down the cruisers. Okay, that Helena right behind that North Carolina, not a big threat to my team, but is a very big threat to my airplanes, because really good AA. So I need to keep that in mind when I'm going after ships. He's a really good AA platform. So is the battleship, but is not as good as, say, the North Carolina. If he was solo, I would go after him. But in order to go after him, I would have to fly over in Helena, which would screw me over. Okay, so there's a Queen Elizabeth right here. Bad drop, but it doesn't have the best, you know, what do you call it? AA.
The cone? The
Yeah,
AA? Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't have good AA. So obviously you want to go after a ship that's solo with bad AA. So you don't fly over a really good AA platform and get yourself deplaned immediately. You're not going to get to the target if something has really good AA. Bad drop, but you all understand what I'm trying to say, hopefully. Alright, I'm gonna hand over the quote-unquote reins to you.
Well, you said it nicely. Hello everyone, hello world, hello Shaggy's YouTube channel. This is Double Name speaking for you here.
Oh yeah,
As
hold on
my...
one sec.
Go on.
One thing I forgot to mention, and one thing I haven't done in this match because it's AI, is you want to move your carrier as much as possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you also have fire planes. That's the way to counter their aircraft carrier. So you want to drop your fighters in front of their planes so your fighters have time to catch on to their airplanes and shoot them down. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say first. To always utilize the autopilot button. It can help you steer away from the danger, and it can also help you position yourself more securely and safely. But you should always, with aircraft carriers, take that with a grain of salt. because in one situation you might be going going away from danger, and another you might going straight into it. That ties in to the first thing Shaggy told you guys, is that it's very important to spot. Now, I have to admit right off the start, and I know Shaggy's gonna get angry at me for this, but sometimes I just cannot care for the carriers. And sometimes I just go for the damage, or if I have to do a challenge, I go for that. But in the meantime, it doesn't cost me anything to fly over a specific spot if it's on my way to my, let's say, designated target, and then help my team along the way. You can also do that as well. Trust me, it can make a lot of the difference. That being said, I want to add something that you have to know, that almost every carrier currently in the game has a different playstyle. Yes, the goals are the same, just like Shaggy said, and in no particular order, but spot and support your team, your blue team. The second one should be go up against light cruisers, concealed cruisers, and uh, destroyers. And afterwards, help out your team bring some damage. That being said, there's also one thing which is very important, which will be always try to supply enemy, always try to supply your blue team if it's being attacked by the enemy flank. Try to supply them with fighter planes if you see that carrier is going that way as well. It could sometimes really make a difference if you were able, for example, to save your friendly cruiser from, let's say, a devastating torp strike. So yeah, I would add on to that. Maybe Shaggy can tell you a little bit more on.
Um, what I think what you're trying to say is you want to focus your fires where you know the enemy carrier is harassing your team. Is that what you're trying to say?
It depends. I personally do not do that always. I usually go. The first thing I do in a carrier, I go out and spot. It depends. There are a lot of factors. Depends on which carrier I'm playing. But the second thing I'm gonna try Itzshaggy, by the way, if you're going in Seraph. And the second thing that I like to do after spotting is noticing and switching targets, specifically the lone warriors. The one who are alone away from the flank will be my first target. That being said, doesn't matter if it's battleship, cruiser, or a destroyer. Yes, there is some significant difference when it comes to which carrier you choose. For example, Shaggy would agree that Furious and or maybe Seraph at tier 5 is much more convenient for hunting and destroying destroyers than, let's say, Juyo, or how do we call it, the Ranger,
Yeah.
given that they drop their bombs significantly different. So yeah, this is something that I would do first in order to get the game started, and then just kind of like go from there. Spot the position, see if any of my teammates need me. I will help them out in that case. Uh, by the way, we ended up in a what is this? Oh yeah, this is a standard match. So
Yeah, put us in standard.
I'm gonna give you the mic to try to show them how it's done.
Like I said, I am no carrier main, but I know the basics of the game. I have been playing this game since launch, so I have an idea of what the hell to do. I'm not a carrier main, obviously. Never gonna claim to be. see that carrier right there? He's trying to counter me. Okay, I'm trying to counter him. I've got his entire squadron shot down. He didn't shoot mine down. Why? Because I saw his squadron coming in. So what did I do? I turned out immediately. And I went around his squadron. They usually have about a 6-kilometer lock on. Okay, it's turning. Recognize what they're doing, people. Oh crap. I flunked that up. I flunked that up. I dropped it where I shouldn't. But you see how he's remaining spotted? Why is that? Because I have my plane still above him. So sometimes it's better just to jump out of your planes. Obviously, I'm playing Seraph, so they weren't really useful anyways. But over there is their carrier. So right there is where I want my plane.
Ho ho!
Whoa! You just got fucked.
I got super. That's what you do when you go straight into the open. There is a significant difference, but if we're talking about basic needs, people need to learn that
Yeah,
first.
just basics.
Just basic, yeah. But one word of advice, guys: a lot of carriers, doesn't matter if it's tier 7 or tier 5, vary through nation to nation here in the game. So maybe Seraph is more effective up against destroyers, but then again you have a Parseval or Vesser who is effective against battleships. So there are a lot of carriers in the game. As someone who really loves aircraft carriers in real life and enjoys playing carriers with all of you folks over there, try to find one that best suits your gameplay and learn. Let it speak to you. Learn how to play it. And yeah, once you master it, you can move on to the next challenge, as I would say.
My opinion is trying to learn. This might be different in your opinion, but my opinion, trying to learn carriers initially, I would go with the Langley, the Ranger, and the Lexington. To me, they're the easiest ships to play.
Tech 3 available? Yeah, they are. But then again, if you care for hunting destroyers, if you care maybe more than anything for deleting them from the battlefield first, you have aircraft carriers who are significantly better at doing that than Langley or Lexington or, as you said, Ranger.
Yeah.
For example, you used Furious and it has those carpet bombs, I believe. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, carpet bombs.
So yeah, it would be way more effective up against it.
Yep. And
All right.
remember, ships like the Furious and the Seraph, the Pobeda, and the other one has very, very slow torpedoes. Very slow torpedoes. So you want to keep that in mind when you're hunting ships that you need to hunt.
Not only that, if I may add, not only that, but especially Russian carriers have a very big and slow arming distance. So my advice to you is always try, if you're playing in maybe Pobeda or in Seraph, always try to aim maybe hull and a half. This would be best. Hull and a half up until the point you get the feel of it. You can upgrade your torpedoes. You can get that speed maxed out if you need to. It will be maybe an average speed of torpedoes dropped by a carrier airplane. But it's always better to plan out early your drops. That way you'll get all 6 hits.
Yep.
And yeah, supposedly, hopefully, some floods.
Alright, anyways, guys, I'm not playing carrots again. But, anyways, guys, I hope this helped you guys out. It, I don't like carries. I think they fundamentally shouldn't be in the game. But if you like carries, more power to you. I'm not
Yay! We do like carriers.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't play them. I'm just saying I particularly don't think they belong in the game. But to each their own. Anyways, guys, I hope this helped you guys out. If it did, give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Take care, everyone, and for one and for day. Peace.
Bye.